In the early 2000s, the hip-hop world witnessed one of its most heated and prolonged feuds, with Ja Rule on one side and 50 Cent, Eminem, and Dr. Dre on the other. What started as a personal and territorial beef between Ja Rule and 50 Cent spiraled into a full-blown industry war, pulling in some of the biggest names in rap. Among them, the legendary producer Dr. Dre found himself entangled in the drama, not by choice, but by his close association with Eminem and 50 Cent, both of whom Dre had helped bring to the forefront of hip-hop. Before we dive deep into this conflict, make sure to subscribe to Timelines Unlocked. For more fascinating stories about the biggest rivalries in entertainment, don't forget to hit that bell. Ja Rule's rise to fame in the late 1990s was meteoric. His gruff, yet melodic style allowed him to dominate the charts with hit after hit. Tracks like Always on Time and I'm Real became summer anthems, and he was one of the hottest names in the game. Alongside his crew at Murder Inc. Records, led by Irv Gotti, Ja Rule built a brand that was both commercially successful and deeply tied to the streets. His blend of thug life lyrics and smooth hooks helped him stay at the top of the charts, appealing to both hardcore hip-hop fans and the mainstream audience. However, the cracks in Ja Rule's armor began to show as a young rapper named 50 Cent began to gain notoriety. Born Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent came from the streets of Queens, New York, and he had a personal score to settle with Ja Rule. The beef reportedly began when Ja Rule was robbed by someone in his neighborhood, and 50 Cent had ties to the person involved. From that point on, there was animosity between the two, which only grew as 50 Cent's star began to rise. In 2002, 50 Cent signed to Eminem's Shady Records, with Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment co-signing the deal. This was a major turning point. With Eminem and Dre, two of the most influential figures in the industry, behind him, 50 Cent had the backing he needed to take on the established power that was Ja Rule and Murder Inc. Dre, already a legend for his work with NWA, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac, was known for shaping the careers of some of the biggest names in the game. By aligning with 50, Dre was inadvertently stepping into a brewing war. 50 Cent's debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', was a commercial and critical smash hit. Songs like In Da Club and Wanksta not only showcased 50's lyrical abilities but also took direct shots at Ja Rule and Murder Inc. What made this even more powerful was Dr. Dre's production on several tracks, giving 50's disses a polished, hard-hitting sound. Dre's beats were unmatched, and his involvement gave 50 Cent the firepower to make his attacks on Ja Rule even more potent. Ja Rule, seeing the storm coming, tried to fight back. He released several diss tracks aimed at 50 Cent, Eminem, and Dr. Dre, calling them out by name. In his song, Loose Change, Ja took personal shots at Dr. Dre, claiming that Dre was relying on younger artists like 50 Cent and Eminem to stay relevant. Ja even went as far as to question Dre's street credibility, accusing him of being more of a corporate figure than a true rap artist. This was a risky move, as Dre was highly respected in the industry, but Ja Rule felt he had no choice but to hit back. At the same time, behind the scenes, the federal government had launched an investigation into Murder Inc. and its connections to illegal activities. This investigation weakened Ja Rule's position, as the media began focusing on the legal troubles of his label. Dr. Dre, on the other hand, was busy working on other projects, including Eminem's music and the elusive Detox album. While Dre wasn't at the forefront of the beef, his name was dragged into it due to his association with 50 Cent. Eminem also became deeply involved in the feud, releasing several tracks where he sided with 50 Cent and took shots at Ja Rule. One of the most notable responses came in the form of the song, Hail Mary, a track that mimicked the style of Tupac and featured 50 Cent and Eminem teaming up to lyrically attack Ja Rule. Dr. Dre's influence could be felt in the production, as the beats were sharp and the lyrics were scathing. As the feud raged on, Ja Rule's commercial success began to wane. While he continued to release music, his sales were nowhere near the heights he had achieved in the early 2000s. By contrast, 50 Cent was riding high. His second album, The Massacre, cemented his place as one of the biggest stars in hip-hop. Once again, Dr. Dre was involved in the production, giving 50 Cent the sonic edge that made his music undeniable. It wasn't just about the music, though. The feud between Ja Rule and 50 Cent, with Dre and Eminem in the mix, spilled over into the streets. There were reports of confrontations, threats, and even physical altercations between members of G-Unit, 50 Cent's crew, and Murder Inc. What had started as a musical beef had become a full-blown war. Dr. Dre, though never physically involved, remained a key figure due to his influence over 50 Cent's career and the sound of the music coming out of the Shady Aftermath camp. By the mid-2000s, the dust began to settle. Ja Rule's career was in decline, and Murder Inc. had lost much of its influence. Meanwhile, Dr. Dre continued to thrive, not only as a producer but as a businessman. He had expanded his empire with the launch of Beats by Dre, a headphone company that would later be sold to Apple for billions. Dre's decision to focus on business ventures allowed him to rise above the drama, while Ja Rule's career never fully recovered from the hits he took during the beef. In the end, the Ja Rule vs. Dr. Dre conflict was more symbolic than direct. Dr. Dre's involvement was largely through his production and mentorship of 50 Cent, but that connection was enough to drag him into the fire. Despite Ja Rule's attempts to tarnish Dre's reputation, the public perception remained largely in Dre's favor. His legacy as one of the greatest producers in hip-hop history was already secured, and the beef only reinforced his ability to stay relevant and influential, even when he wasn't directly in the spotlight. So, was Ja Rule right to target Dr. Dre, or was it a losing battle from the start? What do you think about the role Dre played in this epic hip-hop feud? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Timelines Unlocked. We've got plenty more stories of rivalries, comebacks, and untold tales waiting for you.